question 91 to 95. Let's look at these. So with budgeting, we discussed this in class, we have the Anthony triangle where we have decisions being made at the strategic level, the tactical level, and the operational level. And this is sort of middle management. This is right at the board, top board, and this is the people who are doing the day-to-day, making the day-to-day decisions, if you like, in the business. And it's sort of saying, okay, which of the following is the danger of failing to recognize? I think it's so important. I mean, a budget really is a communication tool of communicating strategy from right here all the way to here. So that's important to understand. That's really the real definition of a budget. How do we communicate strategy from the top to the folk down, depending on what the strategy is, right? The only way we're going to make that happen is to turn it into numbers that everyone can identify with. Okay, great. So strategic and tactical budgets, what is the danger of failing to recognize these relationships? So they're all connected. And the problem here is that it says this may not be appreciated. These two budgets, S&T, may not be appreciated at operational. Strategic and operational may not be appreciated here, and tactical and operational may not be appreciated here. And that's the problem, actually. The truth is, all of the above. You really do need everyone to appreciate what they're doing and what their variances are, to come back and say to the other people, listen, this isn't quite real, this isn't quite happening. So you must have that relationship going. So the answer there is D. This is an interesting one. The truth is, I almost had to kind of go for the worst one, because some people might argue that there is some element of price setting within budgeting. But budgeting fundamentally is about performance management, looking at variance analysis. It is about coordination, about coordinating the different centers. There's no question about that. And it is about motivation, setting targets. Setting price setting has the least, because the truth is that we have new ways of price setting. You might have target costing, where you actually can't do anything about the market, so you have the price given in the market and then you work to that. So ultimately, the days of you setting whatever cost you like and putting a markup and then going from there are pretty much over. So this is the wrong answer. This is not an objective of budgeting. Price setting is not known to be an objective of budgeting. Which represents the greatest devolvement. So which types of businesses, which type of unit here pretty much almost has its own power to do as it wants in terms of control. And definitely there is some power here in terms of profit and revenue, but really when you have your own strategic business unit, separate business unit, you're doing your own thing, you're the one with the greatest devolvement of control. The bottom-up approach, so the top-down approach, bottom-up approach, read through it, and this is really in terms of making decisions. So you have an organization, and if the managers are the ones making all the decisions for everyone else in the organization, that's a top-down approach. If the managers are listening to what's going on and calling them into meetings and getting their own views and opinions, in effect setting the budget with the folks at the bottom upwards and take all their information from what these guys' views are, then we call them a bottom-up approach. So you can probably now understand and probably make out your answers here. Typically won't involve a few people. There's a lot of people involved. It increases commitment to achieving the budget due to the increased involvement in setting the targets, and that's true. It's never quick. It takes too long as everyone's involved. Senior management devise the budget with minimum consultation, so that's not true. This is actually top-down. Question D and answer D. So the answer is B. And then 95 again pushes in this question of a bottom-up approach. Again, it allows senior management to set the overall direction. No, that's not true. It allows those with the best knowledge, because that's really the argument here, that the people with the best knowledge are the people actually working in the situation, so they should be allowed to come in. So the answer is actually B. These are fair, but I wouldn't say they're good. Information needs to be passed between senior management. Well, yes, that's true, but that's not a good. The issues to do with the fact that these guys know what they're talking about, so they should be allowed. It would avoid slack being built into the budget. That's not actually really true. It doesn't avoid slack. It probably sometimes encourages slack because they would come in to protect their own interests. So the answer is B. So yeah, so that's 90 to 95, and we'll carry on with the next set of videos.